Morning, everyone. Yishakach, Rabbi Lawrence and Martin. Okay, so we're going to continue looking at the essay of Rabbi Asher Weiss in this Minchat Asher. It says, fortunately, Corona edition. It's a sign of the times. But, yeah, okay, I guess it tells us that it's right on the pulse for what we need.
You should have a logo for that.
But, pardon?
You should have a logo for that on the spine. It'll be a red one day.
It's true. In 100 years' time, people study this period.
Yeah.
You're right.
Say, what's this with the Corona edition?
Yeah.
I think my grandfather told me something about that.
Yeah. And I thought he was having a couple of beers at the same time. Now, Rabbi Weiss, following from what we looked at yesterday, Rabbi Weiss is analyzing the difference of opinion between the Rambam on one hand about the nature of coming to have communal prayer in a shul, and the Tosfot on the other hand about saying no, that sometimes it's better to pray, particularly say in a Bet Midrash where you are learning anyway, and you're not obligated specifically to go to a shul. So Rabbi Weiss looks at the Rambam's view first, and he notes that there is a particular nuance in the Rambam's view, which is very important. He says that the reason for the institution of communal prayer is not simply because it was an institution and it brings people together, important as those things are, but he says, quoting from the Rambam, and this I think it's a very beautiful, if I would say personally, beautiful sentiment, which we also reflect on in Kol Nidre, when we say that we come Hitzpalel Bein Ha'avaryanim, to davven with all kinds of Jews, whether they're righteous or not. And this is based on the Talmud in Masechet Kritot, which talks about how some of the different mixtures of the incense offerings were not always of the things which smelled had the best fragrance, but nonetheless they showed that all different kinds of people can come together in terms of spirituality, that we have to bring everybody together. So the Rambam says, Tfilat HaTzibur Nishmat Hamid. Communal prayer is always listened to, in inverted commas, by God. Somehow, whatever this means, more than just a person being by themselves. Even if there are sinners amongst the community, God does not reject the prayer of people who are together. And that's why, says the Rambam, a person needs to join himself, to associate himself with a congregation, and not to pray by himself in some form of isolation, as long as it's feasible for him to actually pray with a tzibur. And then the Rambam says, Ula olam, and therefore, daily, a person should get up early and go to the shul. But of course, what does the point of going to the shul seem to be? It seems from this Rambam, you are with the tzibur, you are with other people. That somehow prayer, which shows that we throw in our lots with other Jews, that we understand that we are all part of one community together, warts and all, so to speak, is the kind of prayer that God listens to, whatever that means, in a greater sense. So whereas in a usual setting, that of course is in a shul, though it doesn't have to be in another place as well. In our setting today, we can't do that. So maybe, therefore, the power of going to shul is not being intrinsically in shul, but it's because you're with a community. And therefore, maybe today on Zoom, even though we can't have tefillah b'tzibur, as we know, in the fullest sense, because we can't be physically present praying together, nonetheless, the fact that at the same time we're praying together, the fact that anybody can join all kinds of Jews. I see this on the US broadcasts on the US Facebook and YouTube channels. It's quite remarkable and very heartening to see where people are joining from, and I suppose the sense of Jews somehow coming together in ways that even virtually they might not have ever been able to do before. So maybe from this perspective, as Rabbi Weiss puts it to us, and as I would infer for our circumstances now, perhaps there is a power. It's not tefillah b'tzibur, but there is a power of some sort of everyone being together on Zoom, in the sense that our prayers are being said with us as some form of community. And the prayer of a community is the most powerful prayer, not necessarily intrinsically, even though that is the feature of it, but also according at least to this comment of the Rambam, because it can bring all kinds of Jews together. So I think this is a very beautiful insight for our times in particular and our circumstances. And tomorrow, all being well, we'll continue with Rabbi Weiss's analysis of the Rambam's position and look at this how it might be applied to regular times as well. So in the meantime, have a great and a safe day, everyone.
Yeah, have a good day.
Have a good day.
I suppose especially given the kind of